Microsoft has bought Activision and Blizzard, so I'm going to have 5 things I want to talk about that could happen from them buying them. Number 1 or number 5. Let's do number 5. This could actually make Activision and Blizzard a better place to work. These companies, this joint company of evil, have been accused and sued for allegedly terrible, disgusting workplace environments. Women being harassed, women being paid less, women made to do the work while the men drink, as if this is like some medieval hall and the men are drinking mead and the women are rendering out little trees in the background. A woman allegedly committing suicide after a very negative relationship with a direct superior. It's bad. Now, Activision, Blizzard, Ubisoft, these companies started out small and then became huge, much bigger than they probably ever imagined, and are struggling to cope, and it's probably coming out in these negative ways. Now, Microsoft, they've just been big forever, and they've steadily progressed through the many ups and the many downs, so they could actually have a very calming and positive influence on Activision and Blizzard. Thing number 2, on the flip side of that, we've seen many game companies that are acquired, they're often squandered. You look at BioWare going to EA, the Dead Space developers being ruined by EA, or at least that game franchise being stopped in its tracks by EA. Microsoft, though, feels more hands-off when it comes to their game devs that they buy. Like Bethesda is still just making Elder Scrolls and Starfield. Ninja Theory is going to make a Hellblade sequel. Mojang is doing whatever they are doing with this world of Minecraft. Microsoft hasn't taken those devs off of their original planned projects and made them, force them to make an NFT version of Blinks the Time Sweeping Cat, or, making another Fusion Frenzy that is playable on phones so they can get some of that sweet money. Now, I usually think of Valve as the good guys in gaming, but they bought one of my favorite companies, Campo Santo, who made one of my favorite games, Firewatch, and I was very excited to play In the Valley of the Gods, a spiritual successor to Firewatch, and Valve went and just took those people from Campo Santo to work on Half-Life Alyx, which I've heard is great, and I don't have a VR-capable computer, so I'm not going to play that. Oh, and another thing with EA is, how about them cannibalizing Mass Effect Andromeda, taking talented people, and some said even ideas from that project to work on Anthem. Thing number 3, Game Pass is probably going to get even better. Game Pass is already a really good value. It's got a deep catalog of older games. It's got the few Microsoft Studios games debut there on day one. I mean, Halo Infinite alone is worth the price of a year subscription to me. And then every other game you can find that you enjoy just drives the value of Game Pass up. A better Game Pass should prompt Sony to offer better subscription service or access to older PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games as a response. PS Now being mostly cloud-based is great for people with a lot of, super fast, cheap internet, but it's still alienating to many potential users. Any IFS internet, I don't want to play a lot of games on cloud. There are some cloud games on Game Pass that I just want to hop in and play really quick. I know I'm only going to play once, or I'm not going to get invested in, but if it's a game I'm going to play for a few hours, I don't want to be thinking that it's running badly, or maybe I have a bad NAT connection or latency, and that can happen. I tried that with NVIDIA GeForce Now, the cloud gaming thing for PC, and I had a great download speed, I thought, of over 100, but my latency was terrible and it ended up kind of sucking. Thing number 4, Call of Duty, bro. I don't have any real stats to back this up, but I'm willing to bet there are a sizable portion of COD gamers and sports game gamers who only own consoles to play those games, and they buy them every year. If Xbox becomes the exclusive place to play COD, it'll guarantee a nice chunk of console sales. It feels like PC gamers are more likely to own a console for secondary gaming and accessing exclusively console titles, but I guess it's a lot less likely that a typical console gamer is also going to have a gaming PC. I know that there's overlap out there, but I'm speaking in generalities, and we're dealing with big numbers of people and where the money's going to be. This means that Microsoft can put COD and the rest of this huge library, this huge stable of game developers and games that they own and franchises. They can put all that on Xbox and PC through Games Pass, and it's a really strong offering. Thing number 5, the bad. This could encourage more exclusivity. Horky and I discussed the pros and cons of games being exclusive to a platform on another video on this channel, and we came to the conclusion that overwhelmingly, exclusivity really only benefits the console manufacturer who has the most desirable exclusives. That's it. Sony and Nintendo have had a really strong library of exclusive games that they don't want to share with Xbox for several generations now, but it seems like Microsoft is gearing up to fight that with their seemingly unlimited resources. Now, Nintendo's always just going to do their thing, but we've had a couple of years now of Sony loosening up on their closest guarded franchises like Uncharted, God of War, Horizon. These games, we're seeing them being geared up to play on the PC. Now, months or years after the original PlayStation release, of course, to avoid any type of thing that could scalp their market, games being bought on a PlayStation. But it was a nice small step in a consumer-friendly direction. Now, Microsoft is now loading up as many guns on the border between them and Sony PlayStation as possible, and I think it could either cause Sony to offer more for their players or to tighten up again for an even colder war. Anything I missed? Any pros and cons from this acquisition? I'm excited to see what the hell Microsoft's going to do. They did speak about, when they bought Bethesda, keeping it, we're going to keep it there for lots of people to play. Oh yeah, we want the most people. And that, nobody believed that. You don't spend that much money to not buy Bethesda and make those games exclusive. But it's been pretty great. It's another thing on Games Pass we've already seen. You can access Doom, Wolfenstein, Elder Scrolls games. And you know that when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out and Starfield, there's going to be millions of people want to play those, and it's going to be on Game Pass. Call of Duty's going to be joining that. It's so weird to think of Spyro and Crash being owned by Microsoft, but that's the wild, wacky world we're in. And I guess we're going to see what Sony does next. Bye.